is the Big O Show. This 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 is
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. See, getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. Sorry, I am actually editing here. So I was doing something and I did something wrong, so I had to correct it here on social medias. Good morning, one and all. Hope you all are doing well. Of course, Sean Stanley driving the program. God, there's too much things to do in one day. You know what I'm saying? And there aren't enough hours in the day to do everything that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Hope you all are well out there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. We are recovering from that minor dip in the market yesterday. I hope those of you that got in took advantage of that dip. Especially, I know I did, only in Bitcoin, not in the other ones. The altcoin stuff we got in a lot lower, but those of you that got in, you got a little bit of an opportunity there yesterday, as I think it's going to start bouncing back this morning. We were at Phoenix last night in Fort Lauderdale at Revolution Live. And by the way, thank you to the folks in Revolution Live. You had the air conditioning on. Wow, what a concept. That was good. Last couple of trips, they've had the air conditioning on, so it has not failed us, which is, really, 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 really good. But Phoenix was awesome last night. And they had an opening act named Sir Chloe. Got to tell you, pretty groovy little band. I ended up listening to them on the way home. I put together a set list of theirs and was listening, and pretty groovy little band, actually. I'll be following them. So it was nice to see something new that I didn't know about in Sir Chloe. But Phoenix was awesome last night, dude. Absolutely awesome. And anybody that went, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't go, you could go to our threads. You can go to our Instagram, and you can go to our Twitter page. And it's Big O Radio Show for everything except Twitter. Twitter is Big O Show. And you can see some of the videos there. I put up Alpha Zulu. What else did I put tonight? What else? Forgot which ones I also put there. Damn, I'm brain farting. But anyways, I put like 4 songs up, so you can check it out. If I ever, what is it? If I ever, God, I hear the song and then I'm singing it, and now I'm brain farting for the moment. Here, let me see if I can just pull it up. I put Alpha Zulu. I put After Midnight. That's the one. If I Ever Feel Better, which is such a great song, dude. And 1901. So put those up and you can check them out. That was awesome last night. It was absolutely fantastic. And I'm glad because, when I've seen Phoenix, I've seen them in, like, I saw them in that I don't know, that thing, that concert that Odyssey has. I forgot the name of that stupid concert up in Fort Lauderdale Beach. I went to it last year, and they were one of the acts there, but they did, a shorter set. Last night we got to see them do a headliner set, and which they did, I believe it was 18 or 16 songs, something like that. So they did a nice solid hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, and it was really, really cool. And it was impressive because you could tell that the people that were there were hardcore Phoenix fans because they knew the words, man. So it was actually really, really good vibe last night at Revolution Live. So good, short on sleep, but it is what it is. Matt Verderam will be joining us tomorrow. Okay, we were going to do it today. We were actually going to pre-record it this morning, but he's got construction at his house, and then I was preparing, and then he got another interview that he had to do. And so I said, hey, man, we're getting complicated and all that. So we pushed it for tomorrow. So Verderam will join us tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow we'll be at Hialeah Park. Remember, Sunday, we're at Walk-Ons in Kendall. Okay? So we'll be there starting off, there it is, at 11 a.m. to get you ready for the Dolphins and the Raiders. And hopefully the 7th win of the season for the Miami Dolphins, as hopefully they will continue to dominate this division. Got a bunch of things to talk about. Joe Shad will stop by at 11 o'clock, so that's good. Got some news that came across the NFL wire. The local teams were in action last night. Don't forget that Essential Moving Experts, by the way, since Joe Shad is going to join us at 11, proud sponsors of the show, and we love Sean Williams and the great people at Essential Moving Experts. And if any of you are moving, or even if you're not at the moment, please save this number because you might be moving down the line. You might move your business, 386-213-4054. These are the great people that support our show every single day in this platform. Please reach out to Sean Williams, 386-213-4054. Their main offices are in Daytona, Florida. but they service the entire country. Doesn't matter what you're doing, moving across the country, across your own city, across your own county, from county to county, city to city, your business, your home, whatever it is, Essential Moving Experts can do it for you with flat rates, no surprise charges, safe and efficient loading and unloading practices all the time, dude. Essential Moving Experts is amazing. Over 1,700 happy customers. So please call them 386-213-4054 and tell them that Big O sent you. Save that number because you may need to move one day, and Essential Moving Experts will get it done for you. I promise you. They are really, really good people. Let's see. What else do we have? Heat got it done last night against the Hornets, 111-105. They've won 6 in a row. The Panthers improved to 10-4-1. They and Stolarz was between the pipes last night. It wasn't Bob. So Stolarz with 19 saves last night. We got Thursday night football tomorrow. Got Marlins manager Skip Schumacher winning manager of the year in the National League. And there's a bunch of things to talk about that we'll get to here. Some NFL news also that I want to get to. Some NFL controversies also that I want to get to. Obviously, a little music and entertainment stuff that has come down the pike. And we'll talk about that. Willie out in Colombia. He is the number one in on the chat board today. How about that? I think that's the first time. He said I get first place today. Yeah, I think it's his first time being number one in there. Steve Chapman is in the house. He says Jamie will be along shortly to remind everybody to smash the crap out of the like button. Ignacio is in. Yep, I see Watson is out. Watson has a Deshaun Watson breaking news coming across the wire. Deshaun Watson has been placed on the IR. He is done for the year. He's got a fracture in his shoulder. And so apparently he tried to get second opinions and third opinions, and they all told him, you're disgusting. No, I'm sorry. That he wanted to shoot it up and play through it, but he couldn't. And so he is done for the year. And the amazing part is that some of you idiots wanted Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I say it with all love and care and everything, but, that's how we are in this show. We have tough love because, we will call ourselves idiots. So there's no doubt I'm going to call you a freaking idiot, okay? Because if I can call myself an idiot all the time on this show, trust me, you are not beyond it, okay? So those of you that wanted it along with Flo, you should be regretting that shit every single day. Look at that deal for the Cleveland Browns now. I mean, it has been an outright disaster. The guy can't throw deep at all anymore. He has zero accurate. He looks like Lamar Jackson now. Like I was laughing. I read a story where Lamar is frustrated about, the overthrows this past week. It's like, yo, dude, this is who you are. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But whatever. And so, but you look at Watson now. Watson was a clutch dude. Okay, and when it came to deep balls, he was actually one of the better deep ball throwers. And he has lost all that mojo. Okay? And nobody can massage it back. That's for sure. But that deal, you gave that dude what was it, like $250 million guaranteed. Every penny of that contract is guaranteed. I mean, it just gets worse and worse and worse. You acquired a scumbag, okay? And then on top of all of that, you've now got to pay him.
we had gone through so much here for decades. And some of you idiots wanted us to continue to suffer, bro. And we had the franchise quarterback here. There was no reason to make another move. The problem was the head coach and the cancer that Flo brought, and the fact that Flo was a freaking a-hole, okay? And he did not like and did not want Tua ever. And so he was dead set on making everything wrong for him. And at the same time, he created the kind of environment that convinced some of you out there that Tua wasn't the guy, and this is the guy you wanted. You know, some of you out there need to kind of check yourselves a little bit, you know, because the fact that you really just don't care that the guy was, you know, a total scumbag, and that allegedly he may have raped a bunch of women and sexually assaulted women, and the fact that you wanted to win at all costs, even if an alleged rapist is your quarterback. That's sad, dude. That's sad, because as much as I was the Dolphin fan, even though I was a believer in Tua, okay, everybody knows that, all right? But outside of that, I wanted nothing to do with that dude at all because of what he was involved in. And I don't care if you can't specifically prove it. Brother, there ain't smoke. It's a forest fire. It's not where there's smoke, there's fire. No. There's a forest fire. Okay? I mean, that guy, look how he acted like a guilty person. He still acts like a guilty person. You can tell he's guilty, whether you can prove it or not. Whatever. In my eyes, that guy is guilty as hell. And so live with the money, whatever, that's fine, but you're also going to live with that reputation. And karma has set in a big time way, because your career is going to end on a flop. And guess what? That's what you deserve. Since you're already stealing money, well, now you're going to walk away with a reputation that nobody's going to want to be associated with you from here on out. So it's sad, any fan base that wanted that guy. Anybody that was part of that, you should be ashamed of yourselves. That you wanted to win, even if it meant putting a scumbag at that position to represent your entire franchise, dude. That's, oh, man. Really, I some of you should check yourselves on that one. And, you know, maybe a little self-therapy or something, and try never to think like that again. Seriously. Because to want to win with that, I'd rather not even. I got to tell you something. I might have had a real problem for the first time in my life ever with the Dolphins if they would have acquired him. It might have been a real problem for me with the Dolphins. Real problem. And man, can you imagine how I would have been railing on these people for the last 2 years? Anyway, Angelo De Jesus. The time clock bandit is checking in, he says. Jamie Zoria out in San Jose. Jim Gleason is in. Boss B, John Padilla, Rick DeMann, Kyle Cockrell, Caspa's pumping. There you go. Giovanni is in. Tired watching that Cats win. Sad crowd in San Jose. I didn't see the game. I got home and, man, showered and just went to sleep, dude. I was out, bro. I was done. I was tired. It's still, by the way, how about, are you guys the same? Like, I hate having a shower before I go to sleep late at night. I don't mind every day during the early evening, you shower, and then, you know, you're relaxing, you're watching television. But, man, you're tired. You come back from a concert, all that. You go shower, and it wakes your ass up, dude. I hate that.
And then you got to try to go to sleep and you're tired. You know what I'm saying? It sucks, dude. Steven Gonzalez is in. Ray Sosa sees. Tim Eason, One-Eyed Jack. Yeah, Chan will play this week. Yes. There's no doubt. Giovanni is in. Nyborg in. McDaniel has his man Craycraft back. Yes, Craycraft also will come back. That'll settle in another thing for the Dolphins that they'll like, and Tua will too, because they'll have a receiver that knows how to run the precise routes. Alexis is in. Gordon in. Thank God Greer didn't listen to Flo and discard Tua for that guy. Yep, credit to Greer. Well, Greer wanted him. It was Flo. I didn't want him. If we can't win the division this year, then we never will. Big O and Sean, best Dolphins crypto platform anywhere. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Zach Usherwood says, hello from upstate New York. It's very quiet around here for some reason. Fins up. Buffalo sucks. The Jets suck. Yeah. Stay quiet. Adrian Delgado is in. Jack Roldan, Frankie Fresco, Stanley Smith, Drago, Boss B. Well, the concert was amazing, Boss B. Awesome. Dude 67, Gus 1388, Horn Dog is ready to enjoy the show, driving to Knoxville, Tennessee for boring meetings. Yeah. Hang in there, my brother, and drive safely. All right. NorCal is in. Hump day. Hope you all have a great week and enjoy a Fins win over the Raiders. George Ceballos, Francesco Ghazi, Albayari. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Congratulations to our manager of the year, says Roderick Freeman, Skip Schumacher. Now Marlins brass just needs to give him what he needs to get out of the first round. Yeah. Good luck to that. Adrian Garcia, Lisa Rose. Come on. Thought you were going to order some sunshine for me. Oh, you guys got no sun. We got a bunch of rain. Oh, because that's right. You're here. Yeah, supposedly we're gonna have the next couple of days are gonna be kind of shitty. Yeah. Sorry, Lisa. Sorry. Dolphins going to beat the brakes off the Raiders, says Adrian. Willie says, would Sean Stanley rub his nipples if we win the Super Bowl? What do you think, Sean? For sure? Nipple rubbing if we win the Super Bowl?
Damn straight standing on my head.
There you go. While gargling peanut butter and farting the Star-Spangled Banner. He'll do all of those things at the same time.
In tune. That's real talent right there. Ray Sosa is in. Did anyone see the Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green fight last night? The headlock. Lisa Rose. Pink was beyond amazing. She's always great. She's so talented, and then she puts on a great show. Very athletic. J-Town in. Anthony Campos. Trying to watch Marino's 5 best games in the 90s because the picture is better. Also, Scotty inviting Jordan's son to the wedding, JK. Yep. DF in. Chad in. Veloria. Dolphins dodge a bullet by not signing Watson. We dodged a bullet by not keeping Flo around, by not getting Watson, by not getting Brady. That would have been a disaster, the whole Brady thing. He got old really quickly and got afraid of getting hit right away. He was done. Walter Olivares, Alex Palenzuela, Romel Valverde, Think Blue Dodgers, Eric Storm. The Browns didn't give him $200 million. Oh, wait. Joseph is in. Adolfo Foliaco. I have hard not to compare the Phils, the Finns with Jets if they make the deal for Watson and keep Flo as coach. Yeah, well, none of that happened, so we don't have to worry about it. Omar is in. Omar Geiner. Ricky Sanchez. So happy we're able to stick with Tua. Hell yeah. Lenny Pena is in. Big O. Emilio says, hear me out. I'm not a fan of Watson as a player. I think he's on the way out of the league, but we have to give him a round of applause. He just ran away with $200 million and no jail time. I don't know if I want to celebrate anybody sexually assaulting women, my brother. That's not a position we ever want to celebrate for anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's not something. He deserves to be in jail if he committed those crimes. And he shouldn't have $200 million. He shouldn't be quarterbacking in the NFL. He should be in jail, is where Deshaun Watson should be. So I cannot celebrate that with you, my brother. Cannot. Jonathan Jensen. Well, not at all costs, since he wouldn't talk to Brady on Ross's yacht. Well, that was a Flo thing. That's because the owners. You see, we had idiots everywhere. Idiot Flo and idiot owners. So the idiot owners wanted. See, this is the part where when you hear people, well, they were dying to get rid of Tua. No, they weren't. It was the owners and Flo. Chris Greer at no point wanted to get rid of Tua. Marvin Allen at no point wanted to get rid of Tua. Reggie McKenzie at no point wanted to get rid of Tua. Those guys wanted Tua. They drafted Tua. They wanted to build around Tua. Problem is, and I keep explaining it to people over the last couple of years, when people write it or talk about it or whatever, like Florio talks about it all the time. Oh, no, they were dying to get rid of him. No, they weren't. It was the people around the general manager. But the general manager had to deal with a head coach that he hired that is trying to backstab him and wants somebody else. And then he's got an owner, and the general manager can't argue with the owner. You don't argue with your owner. If you do, then you usually get fired for that, right? Because whatever the owner says, nobody ever really tells the owner you're wrong, right? So what's Chris Greer going to say? Well, Bruce has a connection with Tom. I think okay, Mr. Ross, go ahead, do it. What is Chris Greer going to say? Hey, I drafted Tua. Okay, I don't want you guys going after Brady. Tua's my guy. This is who we're running with on this team. Ross is going to say, I pay your check, and I'm going to get who I want. He's the idiot that went in the middle of the night to go meet with Harbaugh when he already had a coach in place. And that's where this story gets muddied all the time. And you're lying to people. You know, we try to put everything together for you guys and give you the truth. We're like one of the few outlets when it comes to the Dolphins, okay? We're one of the few outlets that can actually give you the truth on what's actually going on. The media had no idea Flo was going crazy. The only one that knew it was this guy right here. Only one. The only one that knew that Flo didn't want Tua was this guy. No insider anywhere nationally. No one. Not Schefter, not Ian Rappaport, not Garofolo. No one knew it. And certainly nobody locally knew it. So we try to keep you in the loop on stuff that a lot of people don't know about. They just don't know. And so they tell you stuff and they lie to you. And they're lying to you when they tell you that they were dying to get rid of Tua. No, they weren't. It's just that the general manager, his hands are tied. What's he going to do? And so he hired the wrong coach, and now he's got to fight that coach like he fought him on draft day because he wanted Jordan Love and they wanted Tua. But, you know, it sounds great. It sounds better And it gives you more views and more clicks to lie to people and say, well, they were dying to get rid of Tua. And no, they weren't actually. The people that actually handle personnel for the Dolphins, they drafted Tua. This is the vision they had. You know what I mean? The problem is they hired a coach the first go around. They couldn't build an offense. And then also could not compartmentalize. In other words, you didn't want him. Okay, but he was drafted. Now you need to coach him and do your best. And he was unwilling to do that. So, you know, that's where all this stuff gets muddied. And what we try to do on this platform all the damn time is to give you exactly what really went on. Okay? That's what we try to do. We don't need to play politics. We're not reporters tied to agencies who are tied to certain players, and so you got to play a certain game. Or we're not tied to certain general managers or certain personnel directors or certain agents, and we don't play that game at all. I don't do anything for favors for anybody out there. Plenty of people have to. And then sometimes I have to lie to you and mislead you for something that is just inaccurate. And that's because they just don't have the information. So they're just guessing. But everybody didn't want to get rid of Tua. That's a lie. Anyway, NorCal says, Deshaun Watson isn't stealing money. The Browns knew what they were investing in. I'm so happy Miami steered clear of that mess. Yep. I'm telling you, I would have had a real problem with the Dolphins. A real problem if they would have signed that guy. Jay Gelfin in South Florida. Don is listening at work. Nikolai Roll is in. Let's see. NorCal says Dolph Fan Club is having a big watch party at La Cabana in Suisun City in California. And they'll have great food, great atmosphere, and the game with sound pumping, cool prizes, and charity if interested. Fins for life. La Cabana in Suisun City, California. 94585 is the area code. And reach out to NorCal. You can see them on Facebook if you need some more information. Michael Lehman in. Cigar Social is in. Michael Vallardes. Fins are 14-2 last 16 home games. The Rock is the best home field advantage. Joseph says pink is very rock and roll, hot, pretty. Lisa Rose, hands down, the decision between Tua and Watson was a replay of Culpepper Breeze. Our franchise would not have survived another devastating choice like that. Not only that, but you're like, I mean, Culpepper's not a criminal. This guy, you know, Jesus Christ. That was a football decision. And you made the wrong football decision, live with it, you move on. My God, you chose a scumbag? You chose an alleged rapist? Forget the football stuff. You chose an alleged rapist. You have an alleged rapist as your quarterback. You have an alleged rapist as the guy that is representing your team. You have an alleged rapist as the guy that comes as the second or first guy in every press conference to talk about your team. You have an alleged rapist that leads your football team. No. You just, no. Can't do that. My God. You hardcore Dolphin fans, you would have never been able to deal with me the last 2 years. There's no way. There's no way you would have been able to deal with me last year because some of you out there, you know, the hardcore Dolphin fans, For them, life is never bad, and for them, everything is always going to be great. And so they will try to, they'll think John Beck will figure it out, that kind of shit. That's not me. When I know what John Beck and Cleo Lemon are, I'm just going to tell you what John Beck and Cleo Lemon are, just like I told you what Ryan Tannehill was going to be, pretty much. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm not going to lie to myself. And that's what those people would do. And they would lie to themselves in this situation, which I just could not be able to do that. I could not. Bill's fake crowd noise says we already have a great QBs coach. Yes, we do. That we do. Jacob Scroggin says people keep talking about our losses against good teams, all on the road, 2 against good teams, 1 against a division rival in their home, decimated by injuries. New defense will be fine. Jacob, I don't care about the excuses anymore, bro. None of that shit matters to me. Start winning these games. That's how I'm going to feel good that when you get to the playoffs, you're just not going to get spanked and sent home. That was the track record back in the days, how it used to work. You could go find an outlier to make you feel better. Hey, this team did it. They didn't beat real good teams. They got to the playoffs and they won the Super Bowl. Wow. Not going to make me feel good. So I don't need that kind of reasoning to make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel good watching the Bills play like shit and they dominate your ass. So whatever you want to talk yourself into, you can go ahead and talk yourself into. You know what I need to see? I need to see the Dolphins kick the Bills' ass the next time around. That's what I need. I don't know about you, but that's what I need. Okay? I need the Dolphins to beat the Eagles and beat the Chiefs. That's what I need. That's what's going to satisfy me, not justifying other teams losing to bad teams. I don't care about the Bills. In fact, all the Bills do is make me feel worse because they play like champions against the Dolphins and they play like dog shit against everybody else. That doesn't make me feel good. So you can try to convince yourself of whatever you want. I'm not going down that road with you, my man. I want no part of that. Knock on wood, but when you think about it, when Tua is under center, it's actually been 2 seasons since we've lost a home game with a healthy Tua. Last year, Tua was concussed in the Packers game. Yeah, he was. He was definitely concussed in the Packers game. Has Tyreek tweeted about Watson today? I don't know. I haven't checked his Twitter right now. Don't know. When do the Dolphins premiere on Hard Knocks? I don't know. I think it's the next week or two. It comes out, actually. Can't wait. I'll tell you that. That I cannot wait for, dude. 67.
Daryl in the chat said the 21st, but I'm trying to confirm it right now.
You said what? Do you think it's the 21st of November?
Yeah, Daryl Bentley in the chat said November 21st. I'm going to try to verify that right now.
All right. That's a new name I've seen there. Daryl Bentley. Jacob says, I'm with you. I'm proving it, Big O. I'm just saying I'm confident in our growth this season. I am too, but I need you to do it in big moments. I'm tired of the Bills, bro. I'm tired of the Bills. I want to be the team that is 12-2 against the Bills, not 2-12. So I'm tired of the Bills. I need you to start beating these people on a consistent basis. So the next go-around will be a nice start. But I need you to start beating them often. Not just beat them often. And that's what I need to see. That's how I used to feel good about my Dolphins back in the day. Yes, sir.
Daryl, 100% correct. Tuesday, November 21st, 9 p.m.
There you go. Daryl Bentley, new name that I've seen on the chat board, but already earning a reputation of somebody that brings it with substance that we can trust. Let's see. Big O was the first one that said flow was the solution. Remember when you said tune up this year? And yes. Yes, I did like flow. I did like flow. And then I ran out of flow love in the second year. Once I realized what the hell was going on, that he couldn't build a staff. I liked Gase too the first year. Neither one of those guys were coaches that I, was like, oh, go hire them. So I didn't know much about them. And then I liked them both after the first year. It's the second year where I start to really sometimes run out of gas with coaches. Because the first year is kind of the fluff year. Except this guy. I like him. He's just young. He's got to figure out a couple things, but he can build a staff. And he can coach on offense. Larry in Columbus says, if we can't beat the Bills, it doesn't matter who else they lose to. We need to be able to beat them. You're dead right. Yep. Beat them often. Not just beat them, but beat them often. Miles Deep says, good morning, Big O and Sean and Miami family. Greetings from Vegas. Race day around the corner. Boy, that thing has been such a disaster over there. Because they had to, back away from their expensive-ass prices, and they had to lower that thing drastically, dude. That has been a disaster. Yes, sir.
You remember when we were there and they were doing all that construction?
Yeah.
Right in front of it. Do you know what that was? That was a portable bridge. They built a bridge to keep the traffic going, and the F1 track goes underneath it. So on race day, they can continue traffic flow. They showed it this morning because some of the NASCAR guys are there walking the track, and there's portable bridges that they built to make sure the flow of traffic keeps going on race day.
Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive. It's funny that this thing gets so much attention when it is incredibly boring. Let's be honest. Same people win all the time. There's no real competition going on. What's the name of the dude? Max Verstappen?
Yeah, he's the one that's winning it all right now. Yeah, that's the money team.
Right. Whoever puts the most money in wins. That's it. The Red Bull team, isn't it? Isn't it the Red Bull team? I
can't remember if they're Red Bull or not. Lewis Hamilton was, and then they've become that now. So I don't know. I can't remember who Red Bull. I don't follow F1 close enough to where I could help you out.
I don't follow F1 close enough myself. I just follow it from afar. But I mean, it's been like that from Miguel is it Indurain? Was that his name? What was the name of there was a guy that was like a Spanish guy that was winning, or is Indurain the bicyclist? I don't know. I get my Tour de France and my F1 guys all mixed up, I guess. But I think it was Indurain. And he was winning for years, and it's the same shit over and over again. It is amazing to me the amount of attention and money that F1 gets when, Yes, sir.
You were right. He's the Tour de France.
Oh, it is. Okay, so somebody will probably put it on the chat board. What's the name of the Hispanic guy that was a Spanish guy that was winning for a stretch too? It's us Hispanic people. We get all this shit. All Rodriguez, Garcias, and Hernandez's. They're all the same. You know what I'm saying? God, what's the name?
Carlos Sainz Jr.?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Okay. Pedro De La Rosa?
No. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought it was no.
Sergio Perez?
Fittipaldi.
Somebody said Castroneves.
Helio Castroneves. But that's
Indy. That's Indy guy. That's not. Oh, okay. I thought that's the guy.
Yeah, no, that's not. Helio Castroneves is Indy. And Carter.
Once we're off F1, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
So
what is it?
UFC was this weekend, and in the post scrum, they asked Dana White if he had talked about doing a UFC at the Sphere. There's already a date booked for Labor Day weekend in 2024. Dana White is putting UFC in the Sphere. I was going to ask you, will it work? Because you've been there, seen it, but I don't know how the setup.
It'll work because it's the UFC, dude. Because it'll sell out. Because you get to watch it in the Sphere, and so it'll work. It'll work. Is it the same thing? No, it's not. But I can see them putting the fight on the big screen like that on the whole thing. And so wherever you're sitting, you're really literally next to the fight because the fight will be right in your face. So I actually like that. But, they're going to need some musical acts. I bet you it's going to come with the musical act when it's all said and done. So there'll be more to that than just the fight. There'll be an entertainment quality to it, will be my prediction, because you're at the Sphere. So in between fights, you might add some entertainment. A rapper comes out, does a song or two in between fights. Somebody comes out that sings or something. I can see something like that. Because remember, a lot of these fighters have their own rappers as it is, coming out and doing the walk-up. That's the other thing. There'll be no walk-up. There is no walk-up there. There's no space, no nothing. You can't do a walk-up. So, that's why there's got to be performances right there in the ring. But it'll work only because the UFC is so damn powerful. And then it'll be the first time there, and everybody will want to be there for the first go-around on that. So, yeah, it'll work. It'll work. And they'll charge an arm and a leg. That's the other thing. They'll make even more money off of it. So I can see that happening. That'll work. Pablo Montoya. Emerson Fittipaldi. I remember that name. Juan Pablo Montoya. Yeah, I think Juan Pablo Montoya was in F1.
I can't remember if he was F1 but I know he went to NASCAR.
That too?
Wow. Yeah, he hit one of the jet dryers when it was on the track. Not one of the better moments.
He was also in Indy, right? So that guy popped all over. Because I got to tell you, I don't remember him doing what you said. Let's see. Colombian race car driver who competed in open-wheel car, sports, and stock car events. He won the Champion Auto Racing Team Kart Championship in 99, the Indy 500 in 2000 and 2015, the 24 Hours of Daytona in 7, 8, and 13, and the IMSA Sports Car Championship in 2019. He, let's see, he was in the Copa Formula Renault. No, I don't think he was he Formula One? Let's see. Yeah, he was.
7 Formula One wins. Yep.
Yep. Formula One with the Williams team in 2001. He secured the maiden victory in that year's Italian Grand Prix. Montoya qualified for the pole position 7 times in 2002 championship, 2 races in 2003. Yep. But I don't think he was the guy that was winning a bunch of championships. Dude, why don't I just go through F1 championships? And then that's it. It'll show me the list of the F1 championships. That's all. And I will get my answer. Let's see. List of Formula One World Cup driving champions. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Everybody's feeling fine. Here we go. Where are we at? Boy, Schumacher was like an ass kicker, man. I remember that name like crazy. I was wrong. Bro. It's not a Spanish guy for Formula One. I thought it was a Spanish guy. I guess I got him confused with my Tour de France. Because I'm looking at the 80s and the 90s, which is what I thought it was. And there isn't a Hispanic name dominating, so I probably got it confused. I remember Schumacher dominating. God, Schumacher dominated for a long time. And Fernando Alonso, Spanish guy, did it for a couple of years, but that's not the guy that I was thinking of. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, yeah, that's the guy. No, that's not the guy. So, yeah, Verstappen's won it the last 3 years. Then Lewis Hamilton won it for 4 straight years. He won it 6 out of 7. Nico Rosberg snuck in 1. Then Sebastian Vettel won it twice. It's crazy, dude. Schumacher won it 5 times. 7 times, actually. 7 in 11 years. That's impressive. 7 in 11 years. But again, it's just like that race doesn't have much to it. There isn't a lot of intrigue there. There isn't a lot of drama. You know who the hell it's going to be. Big O, what are your thoughts on Stanton versus Yankee ownership? I got to tell you, Joseph, I'm not keeping up with it that much. What is the injury plague problem with Stanton and the Yankees going on? I don't know. Do you know what's going on, Sean? Because I have no idea. I'm a little lost. So I have no idea what's going on with the whole thing. Pat in Nashville says U2 has the concert performance rights to the Sphere until the fall of 2025. I doubt they stay there, but who knows? Yeah, no, I doubt that too, because they're going to have a tour also. So I'm pretty sure others will be joining in soon, and they'll be having other acts there. Over here on Flamingo Street, there's like a ramp. It's pretty fun to take, FYI, says Miles Deep. Yeah, man, he was legit in F1. I know because I am Colombian. Yes, sir.
Looks like his agent went on a tirade and warned free agents of signing with the Yankees.
Oh, it's not Scott Boras, right?
Brian Cashman. Oh, you mean his agent? I'm sorry, his agent. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Joel Wolf.
Okay.
Joel Wolf is his agent.
Okay. I mean, the Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore. You know, they're called the Yankees. They still have the pinstripes, but they're not the Yankees that you feared. When Steinbrenner ran the place, you feared the Yankees because that crazy son of a bitch, George, I mean that and with all the love in my heart, by the way, that crazy son of a bitch, you knew he was going to do whatever it takes to win. So that was the beauty of George Steinbrenner. We hated him because he was so driven to win. It scared you as a baseball fan of whatever team because you knew that, oh, shit, the trading deadline's coming and George hasn't had his say yet. And George is not happy with where the team is going. He needs to do something about it. And so everybody that played for the Yankees, I'm sure, always felt like we got a shot because the guy above us will not let us be in second place, will not be satisfied with second place. In fact, he'll be freaking livid. Nobody can be next to the man if they're second place. I can understand if you want to play for the Yankees and the whole, the aura of the Yankees and the past and all that stuff. I kind of understand what the agent is saying, but in his case, he has nothing to talk about. Do you know why? Mike Stanton is one of the most unreliable players in the history of Major League Baseball. He's a constant sack of injuries. Okay? He's been stealing money for years now. So I have a problem allowing anybody to talk when it's not justified. It's just not justified. You can't say a damn word, my brother. You need to shut the hell up. Your guy has missed a ton of games, and he is never worth the money that they pay him every year. And the Yankees are paying him. They're overpaying him. So I don't know how you can complain.
So
yes, sir, Sean.
Here's what Cashman said on an interview. He went in on, he said, we can talk about it, and we're talking about Stanton, trying to limit the time he's down. But I'm not going to tell you he's going to play every game next year because he's not. He's going to wind up getting hurt again, more likely than not, because it seems to be a part of his game. But I know that when he's right and healthy, other than this past year, the guy's a great hitter and has been for a long time. Nothing he said there was, I don't think, off.
100% accurate. Everything he said there was 100% accurate. Sure, he can hit when healthy. When's he going to be healthy? So it's hard for anybody that's literally stealing money to say, don't sign there. Even though, again, I will tell you, the Yankees ain't shit anymore. They're just nothing. The Steinbrenner family that's left, they are a disgrace to the old man. Let's just put it that way. Okay? The way the Steinbrenner family has run the Yankees since the old man died, it's a disgrace. That's all. That's it. If you're used to George, this is garbage. This is second rate. This is minor league. Because George only had it one way. Either you're the best or you are pissed. And he was really pissed. I like that, by the way. You know, in the end, I'd rather have that kind of owner than any other kind of owner. Okay? I'm good with that. Yes, sir.
All right. Joel Wolf responded, I think it's a good reminder for all free agents consider signing in New York, both foreign and domestic, that to play for that team, you've got to be made of Teflon, both mentally and physically, because you can never let your guard down, even in the offseason. And also, interesting to note, Wolf is the representation for the Japanese player. I'm going to butcher his name, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Mm-hmm. Apparently set to be posted this season and become the top free agent pitcher on the market.
Okay. Did he just wake up that it's hard to play in New York? Did he just describe that? That you can never let your guard down? Yeah, dude, it's New York. Like, we all know that. Just because you can play in Miami or in Atlanta doesn't mean you can play in New York. Sure, you can play in Detroit and Houston. Doesn't mean you can play in New York. We all know that. Welcome to the world of playing in New York. Largest media capital, largest media contingent. It is tabloid driven. Yeah, dude. That's welcome to New York. And anybody that runs a New York team knows that if you're going to bring a player to your team, draft him or sign him, they better be pretty special mentally, because they won't last in that place. Everybody knows that. So this guy just learned that now? What do you got?
No, I was like, not only that, but imagine an employer wanting their employee to be, year round. I get it. He's a pro sport athlete. Well, my God, I mean, you're still getting paid to do a job, and they want you to be at the job instead of being, at home or on the shelf. I mean, I don't know. It's just this is one of the things where, like, the agents and some athletes, it's like entitlement to me, because I can't call in sick and be like, hey, guess what? I'm going to be out for 4 weeks. I got a hangnail on my finger or carpal tunnel. So I'm not going to be at work for 4 weeks, okay? But I'm working on it, and I'll get better in the offseason. There's no damn offseason. Get your ass in gear, Stanton. Do some stretching. Get those muscles stretched out.
It's amazing because that guy has his problem with staying healthy is just, wow. It is a real issue for him, dude. Real issue. Boy, Avalanche is at $19.88. It's about to hit $20, dude. It's been flirting with it, and then we had that dip yesterday. Now everything's back in the green again. Yes. Let's see. Big O, it's Sergio Perez, the most famous F1 driver that Mexico has ever produced. He had won 5 or 6 Grand Prix trophies. The guy, I was wrong. I was just thinking of something else. It wasn't F1. It was in Durain, and it was I got my Tour de France and my F1. Wasn't a Spanish guy I was dominating in the 80s or 90s. Let's see what else. There's a really good Formula One movie called Rush. Very good movie. Will make you start enjoying Formula One. I've watched Formula One since I was young. I'm just not impressed with Formula One. You know what I mean? I get going down there to the stadium for the event and go down for the event, and, the people go down there or whatever. But the sport itself, I'm just not impressed with it, bro. I'm not impressed that, the same people win all the time. There really is no even level competition. You know what I mean? It's not like NASCAR. It's just not. NASCAR does it the right way, where they legitimately make it even level playing field for everyone, and it's the best driver that's going to win. Yes, sir.
Went back to the stats here. Since 2010, 13 years, how many F1 champions do you think there's been?
3.
4.
Okay.
Sebastian Vettel got it from 2010 to 2013. Hamilton won it 2014, 2015. Nico Rosberg came in 2016, took 1. Hamilton won it from 2017 to 2020. Verstappen's won it since 2021 to recent.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. Yeah. It's no competition. And that you can't have it that way. That's the beauty of NASCAR. There's competition, legitimate competition. There's rivalries. Okay. There's fights. There's some personal shit that's going on constantly. NASCAR just does it right. NASCAR kicks everybody's ass when it comes to racing, because there's everything is involved in NASCAR. It's more than just a race. They legitimately have all angles to a sport the right way. Whereas F1, it's all window dressing. Whole bunch of money, and he who has the most money is probably the one that's going to win, because you're the one that's going to have the best car. And right now, the Red Bull team is just way ahead of everybody. And by the way, they finished like 1 and 2 a lot. Oh man.
Verstappen lost 1 race, I believe, this year. Was to his teammate.
Right. Yeah. Big O, remember when we were idiots for letting Devontae Parker go to our rivals? He's going to kill us. I never said that. I laughed more at the fact that they gave us a third rounder. I was like, wow, Chris Greer, you got a third rounder for Devontae Parker? Good for you, dude. Good for you. I'm not worried about that stuff anymore. The general manager we have now is 1,000 times better than Bill Belichick ever was, ever will be, ever could be. Okay? That's all. When Bill Belichick makes a good pick, he just got lucky. That's the difference. You know, when Chris Greer's making a good pick, it's because he knew it was going to be a good pick. Huge difference. Not even close. They bamboozled him for Devontae Parker. They bamboozled him for the other receiver. What's his name? The kid that used to fight for the edge of the roster all the time. Practice squad, regular roster. Decent little player, but, you know, borderline NFL player. Forgot his name now.
Was it Isaiah Ford?
Ford. That's it. Very likable young man, very professional, easy guy to root for, all that. We bamboozled that guy. We watched Greer get a 6th rounder, and then they ended up cutting him. Remember those days that you used to trade people to New England, and then they used to like be good and all? Those days are done, dude. They used to have they have a stupid general manager, but our general manager was even dumber. Now our general manager is way smarter than their general manager. So, you know, the schooling is happening on this side now. Okay? Teachers are here. Students are over there. Has any of you watched that show, Steve-O's Bucket List? There's a scene where John Jones smashes Steve-O's ear with a hammer on the belt. No, I have not. Standing on 49th Street in Hialeah, you can see more action than Formula One. Hells to the yeah. Let's see. He must be a liberal. Oh, do me a favor. Send the link to Joe Shad. I thought I sent him a link. I thought I did. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. All right. All right. You know what? Now that I think about it, top of the hour, let's piss somebody off out there. Give me 2 minutes. Joe Shad joins us on the other side. Talk a little Miami Dolphins right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time to talk Aqua and Orange. Miami Dolphins fans. Here's a man with incredibly high standards. In fact, he isn't impressed with Tyreek Hill's dominance, Jalen Waddle's speed, or even Teron Armstead's swag. It's the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Joe Shad. When you're looking to move your home or business anywhere in the U.S. from coast to coast, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Call 305-602-8369. Let's talk football. Here's Joe Shad.
There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. And every day that passes, Joe, the Dolphins, boy, they got really lucky they didn't go down that Deshaun Watson road, bro. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously lots of quarterbacks get injured, and it's not like Watson was extremely injury prone. He has had injuries throughout his career, but certainly unfortunate for the Browns because they're talented enough to be a playoff team, and now due to shoulder surgery, they have to shut him down for the year.
Well, it's, it's not only that, Joe. I don't know how much you watch, because I know being a beat guy, you don't really watch, the NFL as much because you're covering a team every Sunday and you're not there watching the entire league. He can't throw downfield anymore. Like, he has no accuracy whatsoever. Like, he lost his mojo. He lost his edge when you watch him play. And then on top of all of that, you gave him the $200 and whatever million guaranteed. My God. I mean, you think of the hell that this team has been through for a few decades now. You would have added this on top of that. I mean, it's
been an unfortunate start to the Deshaun Watson Browns era, but I wouldn't bury him yet. You've seen Russell Wilson, for example, bounce back pretty nicely. You guys with talent, and both of those guys are uber talented.
Yeah.
The cream usually rises to the crop if you get the right coaching and you're healthy. It didn't seem like he was healthy. There was a lot of injuries that he was trying to navigate.
Yeah, it's just I think it's different. Like Russell, it's not that Russell committed crimes and was put through the ringer and all that, even though he has been put through the ringer. So there is a little bit of a comparison, but it's only because of his goofiness and he's just like a different dude and all that. But it's not because he went under this kind of scrutiny that this guy. It's just, again, this is a team that hasn't dodged a lot of those bullets for decades. They finally dodged one. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually pretty cool to see that. All right. Your interpretations of what's going on in Bills land.
Yeah, I mean, they fired their offensive coordinator. He essentially fired his defensive coordinator in the offseason. So things seem to be unraveling a little bit in Buffalo. There's certainly no guarantee at this point that they will be in the playoffs. And I would think that they will make the playoffs as a wild card behind the Dolphins. But they lost. Josh Allen has obviously regressed, and he turns the ball over too much. Does well against the Dolphins, but I mean, I wouldn't count them out for dead yet. 5-5, but there's a lot of football to be played. Who's to say they still can't win 10 or 11 games?
Yeah, but dude, that window's closed, right? The way I see it now, this has opened up a massive opportunity for the Miami
Oh
Dolphins.
yeah.
I know they're on top of the division right now, but this is the year. It might become the year of the turning point where the torch is being passed over to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Bills have had the better of the Dolphins in general for quite some time, so they'll have to do it. They'll have to do it first before we see.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of being set up for you. Obviously, you've got to take care of business the next time you meet them, but everything is set up there right now, right, for Miami to really become the number one in this division right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the next 5 opponents, and I just posted a story about it on the Palm Beach Post. They're facing horrible quarterbacks and horrible teams. They should go at least 4-1, if not 5-0. If they go 5-0, they're almost assured to win the AFC East. So,
Yeah.
health. They're pretty healthy at the right time, and I wrote it specifically about the defense and how I don't think they've met my preseason expectations just yet, aside from, of course, the second half shutout against the Chiefs in Germany, which is the last time we saw them. But I think that this team has the chance to finish in the top 10 in defense in the league in all categories by the end of the year.
Yeah, I agree. The defense now is going to really take off now that the two corners are healthy, and you got Holland back too. You're missing him a little bit too. Now you got those 3 guys there. That defense should really take off. Pass rush should really benefit from having those guys back there. I think we should see the sack numbers, go up in a big time way.
Yeah, Phillips is feeling healthier after navigating some back and oblique issues earlier in the year. Bradley Chubb is playing with confidence, sacks in 4 straight games. He's a 2-time, I referenced this in the story, Bradley Chubb, a 2-time Pro Bowler, but never an NFL Network top 100 player. Ramsey, Howard, Wilkins, all top 100 players. Will Chubb reach that status? It's interesting. It seems as though he has to overcome the perception that he's just a very good player who gets injured too much.
Yeah, but he has turned the corner now, so stage is his now to be able to do his thing. And I think Phillips also is another one that's really coming around now and turning the corner finally. And hopefully we're going to see, something special from those guys. Joe, when you look at Hard Knocks coming up, I'm interested because how do you look at it? Because I think this is going to be a positive for the Dolphins, actually. I know everybody thinks about the whole Joe Philbin mess and all that stuff, but just look around, dude. The dysfunction is in New York. The dysfunction is with the Buffalo Bills. The dysfunction is with the Patriots, not with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, Mike McDaniel is well equipped to handle this.
Yeah.
He's as well equipped as any coach because of his emotional intelligence, his sense of humor, his poise. And let's be honest, the Dolphins are going to get a chance, in my opinion, to screen a lot of this stuff. And if there's anything that they think is a competitive disadvantage or very negative or controversial, you won't see it in the show. So no. I saw the Hard Knocks crew wearing Miami Dolphins t-shirts, and that struck me. I didn't expect them to be wearing Miami Dolphins t-shirts. And obviously, from their perspective, they want to be perceived as a part of the cause, not anything that's going against the cause.
Yeah, or they wanted to uniform them in a way so they can easily be differentiated from the regular media and other people that'll be
It says
around.
Miami Dolphins, though. It doesn't say HBO, doesn't say Hard Knocks. It says right. Miami Dolphins. It's Miami Dolphins gear.
Yeah, but it's probably a shirt that the team gave them, so that way they know that, okay, this is the crew from Hard Knocks, and then, it kind of differentiates from everybody else. But you kind of highlighted a lot of the things that I talked about. I actually think this is going to turn, and one of the things you just mentioned also, which gave me fuel to the fire here, you have a stretch here of a lot of games you should win. So there should be a lot of positive buzz. and then the good vibes. And I think when players see the way they interact with each other, the way they interact with the coach, the way the coach handles a lot of things, I think this is going to become a great selling tool for the Miami Dolphins.
It should be. Yeah, they'll be there.
Right.
It's a place you want to play for many reasons. They always had the weather and the state income tax going for them. Now they have this positive culture and vibe. And, there's no reason that players shouldn't want to play. It is true that some of the good players on the team, like Tua Tagovailoa and Xavier Howard, would prefer that Hard Knocks not be there. So them finding it annoying is not really a positive, but it might be a positive for the franchise, certainly. I hope it's good viewing. I find Hard Knocks boring in recent years. I'm told that the in-season Cardinals one was pretty decent last year. I didn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that the preseason one has higher ratings than the in-season one, but I don't know that.
I enjoyed the Cardinals. I mean, I enjoy them overall. I think they do a pretty good job. They try to do the best they can. Sometimes situations are different and people are different and coaches are different. So I'm sure it's sometimes it's a lot easier to do your job. And then I'm sure there are other times where it's going to be a little harder. But that's where I think, some people were so terrified from the last go around. I'm not actually on this one. I on the last go around, I was with everybody else in general, like, oh, there's going to be a mess because our Dolphins are a mess. They're dysfunctional, but right now they're not. And I think this is going to be one hell of a selling tool. Plus, they're going to see the facilities. So they're going to see people, an ownership group that spends, top-notch facilities, players having some fun because they're going to be winning a lot of easy games for a long stretch here. And they're going to see a coach that is very likable. I just think there's a lot of positives for the Dolphins to cash in on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I mean, McDaniel himself is becoming a national storyline. I've had national broadcasting networks reach out to me to ask for interviews about McDaniel. We saw the Washington Post do a lengthy profile on Mike McDaniel recently. He's an interesting figure. Certainly, this is a guy that books will be written about.
Yeah, it's really cool. Are you expecting, because it looks like Hunt may not end up playing?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that he was in good shape considering how he looked jogging around in Germany, but I think they want to be especially cautious with the what do they call them? Soft tissue injuries, the hamstring and whatnot. So Mike McDaniel kind of, told us what was going on when he described Hunt as week to week and not day to day. Doesn't mean that Hunt's definitely not going to play. Dolphins also brought in some veteran guards to work out, including Andrew Norvell, who has over 100 NFL starts. Do they end up signing a veteran guard? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, listen, in the end, they lost one. And so you kind of want to start to, stash somebody out there. Just like the receiver that they signed, what's his name? The Schwartz kid. That's not because of any injuries or anything. That's just more of an experiment.
And there's some Waddle insurance. Waddle has been really banged up this year a lot.
Yeah, but you're getting
they need him.
You're getting Craycraft back. The Schwartz kid isn't even close to contributing right now at all. He's not even a thought. Whereas Norvell, you got to start maybe thinking about stashing a guy on your practice squad just in case down the line. And you should always be working on that anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they added Eric Fisher last year.
Right.
And it didn't work out. But that's the kind of move that might be in the cards here moving forward. Norvell would be kind of a similar type of move.
What do you how are you looking at this game? Because it's a game you should win. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, they're playing with some energy and a little, with the coaching change. Everybody celebrated that Josh McDaniel was gone. They're playing music and smoking cigars and dancing. It's really interesting. It does seem like the Belichick tree is wilting. That way is just not the way to go. It seems like the Dolphins clearly made the right move in moving away from the Belichick tree and moving towards the sort of new age type of coach. So credit to Chris Greer and Stephen Ross. They took a lot of criticism for moving on from Flores. because he's a good defensive play caller, because he does have structure, discipline, and organization. But it clearly was the right move. But Aiden O'Connell, I mean, no, the Dolphins are facing a bunch of quarterbacks coming up here that they should not only play well against, because they've been among the worst in the league in passer rating by opponent, touchdown passes by opponent, red zone by opponent. It's not good enough. It needs to be better, and they should intercept these quarterbacks that they have coming up in the next 5 games. They should sack, fumble, touchdown these quarterbacks that are coming up. They should just destroy and humiliate. I think Robert Saleh, didn't he say something like, "Oh yeah, we've humiliated every quarterback we've faced"? That's how the Dolphins should feel coming out of this 5-game stretch. And I don't know. I don't know a ton about the Raiders, but I know that they're playing better. But the Dolphins should win. They're 12-point favorites for a reason. That's a big number.
Yeah. And by the way, Belichick doesn't have a tree. He has a poison ivy. Okay. All right. What are you working on?
Do we count Vrabel? I don't know. It's kind of dicey.
He was a player. He was a player. He didn't coach under Belichick.
Because he never coached under him, we're not going to count him. All right.
Yeah, because you can't. Just because you played for somebody that's not your tree. Your tree is somebody you developed as a coach. You know what I mean? Like Spoelstra and the Van Gundys are part of Pat Riley's tree. You know what I'm saying?
And I guess next year the former Patriots linebacker will get promoted to head coach. So I don't know if we will count him if he succeeds. We'll see.
The Tennessee kid, right? What's his name?
Yeah, it's bad that I can't think of it. The coach in waiting in New England.
I know
think of it.
I know he went to Tennessee as a linebacker. I can't remember his name now. And I know he
not
went
Dante Hightower, but like a Dante Hightower type. I just can't think of his name. Anyway, I posted a story about how there's no excuses. It's time for the Miami Dolphins defense to dominate their next 5 opponents. Gerard Mayo, there you go. Their next 5 opponents. Mm-hmm. And there's some interesting statistics in there. Some good, some bad. It's kind of weird, right? Because the Fangio defense is kind of structured to give up some rushing yards, some passing yards, sort of bend but don't break, blitz when it's not expected. So it's sort of convoluted on the statistics. But my point is, over the next 5 games, I want to see purely dominating statistics, and there's no reason to believe that there won't be.
Well, here's the thing. I think this defense for him will produce more sacks than normal. Why? You normally don't have these kind of corners. Normally, you just don't have 2 standout type of all pro corners on each side. Usually you have one and maybe a young guy or somebody that's kind of, growing or whatever. But to have those 2 guys and then to have Javon Holland, I think it's going to be, Fangio is going to have a little bit more flexibility to do a couple of more things that he normally could do. You know what I'm saying? So
David Long said we got dogs at every position group, and he's right. They have dogs at every position group, including David Long, who has gone from to wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because a lot of people are, we got to get a thumper and this and that, and I was
David Long's been good.
I was told in the building, the thumper is not what he likes. That's not what Fangio likes. He doesn't like thumpers. He likes agile guys that can move around.
It'd be nice to have both, a guy who's fast and can punish. But Long can deliver some impressive tackles for loss. He shoots through the gap. These guys have figuring out, as Christian Wilkins said on Monday, they're figuring out where they can take their shots. And they have a better feel for that now.
But there's only a couple of those guys in the league that are like thumpers that can run like deers. That's just not really a combination that is normal.
The Luke Kuechly's and those kind of guys.
Yeah, the Derek Brooks, come on. That kind of shit just doesn't exist much. Ray Lewis, that kind of shit just doesn't exist. They pop every once in a while, but if he can't get something like that freak, then you're going to get the agile guys like a David Long. So
I'll ask you one more thing. I'll leave you with this, and check out our stories in the palmbeachpost.com, and check me out on X and Instagram at Shad Joe. Next 5 games, Jets twice, Raiders, Washington, Tennessee. Over under average points allowed by Dolphins defense, 16.
I like that. Under.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, no, because it's not great quarterbacks, so you should kind of limit them, overall.
I like that goal. Under 16. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. Catch his work there at the Palm Beach Post doing his thing. And, of course, here with the EssentialMovingExperts.com Miami Dolphins Exchange. Joe, as always, thank you. We catch up next week, my friend.
See you, bud.
You got it. There you go, Joe Shad. And call our people at Essential Moving Experts. We love Sean Williams and the great people out there. 386-213-4054. That's 386-213-4054.
You've been listening to the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Joe Shad. When you're looking for local, home, long moving services or office relocation, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Call 305-602-8369. Miami Dolphins fans, follow Big O Radio Show on all platforms to keep up with your favorite NFL team.
Right. Hopefully the Hard Knocks doesn't distract them from the Super Boom Check. That's, they haven't accomplished anything. They should be super focused on everything. They should be hungry for success. And it's driven by their quarterback and their coach. You know what I mean? Javon Holland hasn't had big success. X hasn't had big success. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of these guys that they haven't had, Teron Armstead. And he's a pro's pro, so he won a championship with New Orleans. I'm sure he still wants to win another one, So I think this is a hungry team overall. There's a lot of guys that want to prove stuff. I like this team. That's why I was so humongously pissed in the Buffalo game. Because that was fraudulent. That's not who they are. They got to play better. They're way better than that. And that was unacceptable. This is a team that has the talent to be elite. And now it's coming together, especially on defense. And if you can get the offensive line healthy, I don't know how long they'll stay healthy because this is a terrible game, dude. God, there are injuries all the damn time. Let's see. Krillian777 says, well, we were weak at DB, but that was all because of injuries. Now that Ramsey and Needham are back, our weakness has become a strength. Big O, has Fangio ever had a defense as good as Miami on paper? I don't know much about him, so I have no idea. He's had some, he had some defenses in Denver. Chicago, he's had some pretty good defenses. He's had some pretty damn good defenses overall. This defense is not there yet. So let's see what kind of run they make, and especially in the playoffs and big-time games. But his Denver defenses were probably better. But again, this one could be better. We're still in the early stages. Still too early to say anything about this defense because we have to actually allow them to really accomplish something, and then we can measure them. Finns having 5 of their last 8 games at home is quite an advantage. Yeah. And they've earned it. Now, you're 6-3 through the first half. Now let's go. Let's get it done, dude. You got 8 games left. Do your best to win 6 or 7 of them. I'm serious. Do your best to win 6 or 7 of those games. That's what you got to do. And let's hope that they can get it done. Hey, you know what? Let's get to a little music and entertainment before we get to a couple of other sports topics that I want to get to. First of all, let's get to birthdays today. All right, on November 15th. Let's go. Here we go. Shailene Woodley, she is 32. I think her and Aaron Rodgers are getting back together, right? Supposedly. E40 rapper is 56. I have no idea who that is, by the way. B.O.B. Bob rapper is 35. Randy Savage, born in 1952 on this date. We lost him in 2011.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
There you go. He would have been, I don't know. Anyways, he was born in 52. Ed Asner, born on this date in 1929. We lost him in 2021. Carl Anthony Towns, basketball player, is 28 years old. Chad Kroger, singer for Nickelback, is 49. Nickelback's such a loved band all over the place. I don't understand why people hate them so much. Andrew Castle, tennis player, is 60 years old. Let's see. Winston Duke, actor, is 37. Sean Murray, TV actor, is 46. Johnny Lee Miller, TV actor, is 51. And that's it. Those are the folks celebrating birthdays today. Now let's get into a little music history. On November 15th, on this date in 1974, the Faces released "You Can Make Me Dance, Sing or Anything," which would become their last single since Rod Stewart would later announce he was leaving the band. In 1990, David Bowie opened on Broadway in a title role of The Elephant Man. In 1969, Janis Joplin was arrested during a show in Tampa after bad-mouthing a cop and using vulgar language. They all get arrested in Florida, right? She was upset the police came into the venue and moved fans back to their seats. As she left the stage, she called the detective a son of a bitch, and said she kicked his face in. Oh, she'd kick his face in. She was released on $500 bail. The Rolling Stones in 1965 on this date made their American TV debut on NBC musical variety show Hullabaloo. They performed "Get Off My Cloud." In 92, Ozzy Osbourne said his show in Costa Mesa, California would be his last concert ever. He was joined on stage by Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward in an emotional reunion. Not surprisingly, he was eventually convinced to return to performing. Shocker. In 86, on this date, Beastie Boys released their debut album, License to Ill, which became the first rap album ever to top the album charts. In 88, Metallica kicked off their And Justice for All tour in Toledo, Ohio, with Queensryche opening up. That's pretty good. That is pretty damn good. Little Queensryche action. Did you know that Disney World has banned 15 bands? Do you know who the bands are? I have the list here. Okay. The Disney Corporation and heavy music don't cross over appeal much. Okay. So they have, told some bands that, they're not allowed to perform on their property. Cannibal Corpse is one. Exodus is another. The Dillinger Escape Plan. Machine Head. Gallows. You're kind of getting a feeling for where we're going, all these thrash metal bands. Every Time I Die. Cattle Decapitation. I don't know most of these bands, by the way. The Faceless. Warbringer, Thy Art is Murder, Skeleton Witch, performing tonight at Epcot, Skeleton Witch. Let Live, okay. Ex Mortis, Ice Nine Kills, Hyro the Hero. Those are the bands that have been banned from performing in Disney World. That is too much, dude. I thought that was actually pretty funny. And understandable why they would not allow some of these thrash metal bands that have some really screwed up names also. If you're a Judas Priest fan, I know we have people watching the show all over the world. They have announced a new tour, the Invincible Shield Tour. And they are performing all over. They're starting in Wallingford, Connecticut. They're going to New Jersey. They'll be in Illinois and Ohio. No Florida dates, by the way. They end in New York, May 21st in Albany at the MVP Arena and in Syracuse at the Empower Federal Credit Center. They will be one Florida date, but it's in Daytona, and that'll be in Rockville. Okay? But you may want to check the dates out if you're a Judas Priest fan. Unfortunately, I will not be able to see them on this tour. Invincible Shield Tour, that's the new album that they have coming out. And Sabaton will be opening up for Priest. Probably another act that won't be allowed to perform in Disney. Okay? That's probably the case. One of the bands banned is the Mickey Mouse Cheese Trap. Their hit song is Murderess of Minnie on Christmas Eve. That would get you banned right there, Karoon. Ron says, good morning, Big O. Sorry for being late. Sir, you are never late. You tune in anytime you want. Tomorrow you will hear Matt Verderam, Jamesville. Okay? We couldn't hook up today. He's got some work being done in his house, and then he had some other thing that he had to do, and then I was preparing for the show. We were going to pre-record it, and one thing led to another, and we couldn't hook up. So tomorrow we will have Matt on, and we'll get his thoughts on the Bills and all kinds of other stuff going on. Oh, wait, one damn minute. Disney, you're saying that the plastic Ono ban has not been banned at the Magic. No, not at all. The plastic Ono ban can go. And the day they go, tell me. Because then I know nobody will be there. There'll be no lines and I can go. And I'll just go with like these, those headsets that the guys and the women that are out in the runways wear and all that, right? I'll wear those headsets, so then I won't hear the plastic Ono band wherever I'm at in any of the parks. But the good thing is that if she goes, everyone will scatter. And so there'll be no lines. That's the day you want to go to Disney. Plastic Ono band scaring the shit out of everybody. Can't beat that, bro. Can't beat that. So the Bills have some problems. And their quarterback is, which, by the way, my theory is back on. I thought Josh Allen ruined my theory that when you're inaccurate, you're always inaccurate from college on. He stayed that way. So he never really got back to he never really was accurate. He became more accurate, but he's kind of inaccurate again. And so my theory is back on. When you're inaccurate, you'll always be inaccurate, because Josh Allen for a moment there was ruining my theory after 30 years of having the theory. But we have Josh Allen erratic. They also ended up firing their offensive coordinator, the overrated one, Ken Dorsey, apparently. So now, we're waiting for the Stefon Diggs explosion, right? And we're not getting it yet. And why aren't we getting it? Well, that's because we're getting Trayvon Diggs instead. See, Trayvon Diggs, you got to take out that Welton Realm there so they can see it. But Trayvon Diggs, well, he tweeted out, man, 14, gotta get up out of here or out of there. Right? So you got the little brother now stirring shit up. So you got Stefon and Trayvon talking, and then you got Trayvon tweeting out for him. Right? Now, here's the thing. If you look at it, he ain't done yet. No. He tweeted out another one after the first one that he had to get out. What's the newest one that Trayvon is doing for Stefon? Let's not forget, he didn't start going off till bro got there. In the offseason, the head coach started it all with something that was concerning, or I forgot the adjective he used to describe the situation, which then ignited it. And then they all tried to talk it. Oh, no. Everything is great with Stefon, and it's all good, this, that. And clearly he's not happy with Allen. And Allen even took heed and even said, I got to do better, this, that, whatever. Well, he ain't doing better. They just fired his offensive coordinator. Stefon obviously can't be happy because the Bills aren't winning and he's not getting the ball nearly as much. So instead of him going off now he's using his little brother as a mouthpiece. So that way you can't really talk about Stefon because it's really not Stefon doing it. It's Trayvon. Trayvon's the one that's saying, let's not forget, he didn't start going off till bro got there. So this was, first it was a shot at, the situation. Now it's a shot at the quarterback. It's going to be 30. Yeah, I think Sean said yesterday in 2 weeks. So, not a good situation in Buffalo. It's getting worse and worse and worse. What do we got? Team meetings coming up? Is that next? It's crazy. Yes, sir.
There was a fake, I don't know if you saw the fake Stefon Diggs story.
No.
IG. No. Somebody pulled it. At least it's been said it's fake, but what was written, I could see this. Listen to what it says, and then I could see Stefon Diggs actually doing this. I asked him at halftime to get me the ball more. He said, put on a Broncos jersey. I'm done. Peace.
So Josh Allen said that to him?
That's what the whole story was. Yeah, it was Stefon Diggs supposedly put this in his story. It's been proven false, but I could see Stefon Diggs doing that. I could see Stefon Diggs putting that on his story.
Yeah, you could see it, but yeah, I don't know what to believe there.
No, it's not. It's already been. It's not Stefon Diggs' story, but it was just funny to see it this morning because it was circulating around, and I happened to see it. I was about to send it to you, and I did more research and found out everything. But it was hilarious that because it's going to get there sooner or later. I mean,
it's already happening.
No, I know, but if they continue this way, it's going to be.
Yeah. He's just using his little brother now. That's all he's doing. So he doesn't, necessarily stir it up himself, but he's using his little brother as a mouthpiece now instead. I mean, there's no difference. This is Stefon talking. It's just Trayvon posting it, but It's Stefon saying it, because Trayvon's not going to say it without Stefon's approval. Stefon is the older brother. So he's going to be pissed at his younger brother if his younger brother does stuff that, could get him any, here he can wipe his hands from it. That's what he got. Oh, I got no control over my brother. He cares about me, and what can I tell you? And that's it. But come on, man. What are we, stupid? Well, some of you might be. I'm not. This is Stefon pulling the strings here for Trayvon. The wheels have completely come off in Buffalo, dude. Absolutely completely come off in Buffalo. So that's interesting. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Heat last night, they defeat the Hornets 111-105. They improved to 7-4. Charlotte drops to 3-7. They've won 6 in a row. Very good. Jimmy Butler with 32 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Bam! 21 points. Once again, over 20. 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Duncan had 18 points on 4 of 10 shooting, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. Jaquez, 17 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist. And even Highsmith, by the way, productive as hell. 12 points, 5 steals, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in the game. Impressive stuff for the Heat. Thursday, they will take on Brooklyn. And remember, last time they lost to Brooklyn, it was their 4th loss in a row. So let's go. 109-105 was the loss. They need to pick it up and get it done. Panthers defeat San Jose 4-3. They improved to 10-4-1, dude. Stolars had 19 saves. Barkov, Reinhold, Verhage all had a goal and an assist. And Lomberg added the 4th goal Thursday. They are at the LA Kings. Thursday night, the Bengals visit the Ravens. 8:15 is the kickoff. Ravens favored by 4. Sunday, the Dolphins take on the Raiders. Dolphins are favored by 12 against the Raiders. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call Alan Blanco, great people, 786-618-1443. They can handle anything you need, custom printing, embroidery, whatever it is you need. You make some some magnets, some caps, anything that you want to put your logo, your slogan on, you name it, they can do it, folks, for you. So check it out at 3A Graphics and check it out, the custom printing and embroidery. They are absolutely fantastic. All right. There you go. What else do we have going on? Oh, congratulations to Marlins manager Skip Schumacher. He wins the NL Manager of the Year, beats out Brandon Hyde. I'm sorry, not Brandon Hyde. Craig Counsell, former Marlin champion too, back in 97, coming across home plate. I was there getting filled with champagne and covering that back in the day. Anyway, so Skip Schumacher wins NL Manager of the Year. Brandon Hyde for the Orioles wins the AL Manager of the Year. You know, the interesting part is Brandon Hyde got 27 of 30 first-place votes. Skip Schumacher only got 8 first-place votes. Pretty amazing. So he beats out Counsell, who got 5 first-place votes. Now, the manager overall had 72 votes, where Counsell had 51. Brian Snitker got all 8, but he got a total of let me see. And 51, 78 also, and Jory Lovello got 4 first place votes. and Dave Roberts, David Bell, and David Ross also were in but Counsell, it was interesting that he beats Counsell out for the award. And he becomes, by the way, the fourth Marlins manager, with McKeon, Girardi, and Mattingly winning the managers of the year. But to beat out a former Marlin, and I know he just left Milwaukee for Chicago, which I don't blame him. Chicago's got the money. They're not going to give him all the resources to win. But I thought it was pretty cool to win, Counsell's done a hell of a job. But to get a former Marlin to be the second one, I thought that was actually really, really cool. Let's see, what else do we have? The Bills don't make us look like anything. They're imploding. We're not beat them. Of course, I want to. At the end of the day, I'd rather be Miami right now. Yeah, but they still have to win. Diggs is more and more toxic. Yes, he is. Hell of a receiver, but you know what you're getting when you get that guy. What are you going to do? When you signed Stefon Diggs, you had to know what you were signing. So the Jets called a players-only meeting. And by the way, they also cut Michael Carter. I'm surprised a whole bunch of Dolphin fans aren't saying aside Michael Carter. Shocker. Anyway, so the Jets end up cutting Michael Carter, and then they called a players-only meeting. What is there to talk about? You have one problem, and you can't fix it. What was that meeting for? To talk about how much Zach Wilson sucks? What are they talking about? But hey, guys, why are we keeping Zach Wilson as our starter? Is it his mom because she's hot? Is that it? Because he can't play. Did they invite Zach Wilson to this team meeting? Because I can't blame Breece Hall for Zach Wilson. I know they don't have a great offensive line, but I'm still not blaming them for Zach Wilson. I can't blame the wide receivers because I really can't blame the offense. I got to blame Zach Wilson. That's the reason why you're in this position. So I'm just were they all lying to themselves? So everybody's sitting there, including Zach Wilson, in this meeting. And if the offense is taking any of the blame, should they really take the blame or should they just blame one guy? Because I'm like, you called a team meeting for what? To point out that you don't have a quarterback? That the second that Aaron Rodgers went down, the season was over? That you lie to yourself because you think you can overcome that? You can't. Trust me, I'm a Dolphins fan. You know how many times I've watched the so-called Dolphins defense try to keep everything afloat week in and week out? That's gone on for years for me as a Dolphins fan. That rarely ever works. I know it worked for the Ravens one year and it worked for the Broncos one year and all that, but in general, it's not going to work. What was that meeting about? The problem is obvious. It's you have no quarterback. And they refuse to make a change, which is crazy. They could have picked up Josh Dobbs. And I don't think Josh Dobbs is anything special, but he's done pretty damn well the last couple of weeks. They refuse to go out and get a veteran. How do you look at your defense in the eye if you're the front office, if you're the head coach, and tell them you're doing everything possible? And then, defend Zach Wilson by continuing to start him. Team meeting for what? There was one obvious thing. Folks, when our local teams, they come up with certain performances every night, and we like pointing out the MVP performances of the night. Last night, the Miami Heat defeated the Charlotte Hornets 111-105. I want to get to our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Tree trimming and removals, landscape design, outdoor lighting, artificial turf. If you own dogs like I do, oh man, the artificial turf is the greatest invention of mankind. And I've called Bam Adebayo, still calling him a super role player. But I'm wondering, is he trying to become a star? Is he trying to become a frontline player? 26, 24, 30, 21 last night. Bam Adebayo is starting to impose his offensive will. Can he continue to do that? Last night, Jimmy Butler was terrific with the 32 points. Bam Adebayo was fantastic, and I'm going to give him some MVP love because it was 21 points. It was 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals last night, and continuing to really make it a thing that he wants to attack you offensively. And because you have the skill set, that's the reason why I think I'm convinced you can pull it off. That's the way I look at Bam Adebayo. For me, Bam Adebayo, even though he doesn't have a 3-point game, I think he can add a 3-point game. Those are the reasons why, when I think you have a lot of talent and you're not really getting to the point that you should, I might get a little frustrated with you. And that's where I've been with Bam. And I know he can be better. And lately, I'm not saying he's there yet. I need to see a lot more for several months more. But if this is what he wants to do, then he's looking to be a Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals last night. I'm going to give him plenty of love for that, folks. And make sure you reach out to our people at CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to the Instagram page so you can see a lot of their work, and you are going to love it. Cutter's Edge Pro. They took care of our house. They can take care of your home, your HOA complex, your business. Call them. Cutter's Edge Pro. Ask for William or Mike. 954-472-0622. That's your Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Right. Let's see. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you know we love our Bitcoin donations. So if you can make a Bitcoin donation, ooh, baby, even better. Okay? We love our Bitcoin donations. So Cash Big O Show, that is Cash Big O Show. And you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff there too at the same time. All right. How the market's doing right now? How we doing? Polygon up about 1.5%. They're 90 cents. Atom is up 5% at $9.62. What do we have? Ooh, Avalanche crossed the $20 mark. In fact, it's at $20.49 already. It's headed to $21 now. It's up almost 19%. Damn, that's an explosion, dude. I like it. Immutable X is up 3% to $1.18. Solana is up 61, almost $62, $61.81. It's up 15%. That is beastly, man. That is beastly. And by the way, Bitcoin is, where is Bitcoin is at 36,369. All right. There you go. Let's see. Funny how all the Jets, Bills, and Pats fans have disappeared from here. Well, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing for them to talk about. They need to just go away and disappear at this point. Although Bills fans can still, yeah, we're 5-5, but we own you, that kind of shit. And that's one deal. Like I said, man, you got to turn that around. You got to start winning that game often now. Not every once in a blue moon. Oh, any chance we trade Lousy at the trading deadline for a younger point guard? Yeah, for sure. I don't know who's available or whatever, but it's an expiring contract. This is the time when Lowry becomes sexy now at the trading deadline because it's an expiring deal. So if you have somebody that might be disgruntled and you have a couple years left or whatever, or maybe there's only a year or two left and you're not going to be able to pay them, and you want to get out of that deal, or maybe there's 2 or 3 years left, but you want to get out of that deal, then you make the trade for Lowry. And that way you get your expiring contract and you have your cap space open at the end of the year in the offseason. And you, as Miami, you get a player that you're going to plan on re-signing and helping you win. I don't know who that is. So that's the part. I might be completely wrong there because realistically there might not be somebody available like that. But that's the only way you're able to unload Lowry is if Riley finds the disgruntled star like he's found in the past that wants out. Okay. Vacation plans. I don't have any right now, Howie. None. Let's see. The only thing the Jets can do on offense here and there is run the ball. They get rid of a semi-productive back. The Jets should be in Hard Knocks, LOL. The Jets player-only meeting consisted of Aaron leading a group of darkness retreat and smoking some of that psychedelic ayahuascas or whatever he's into. Okay. And then Gabe Vincent popped up. I don't know why just Gabe Vincent popped up there, Horn Dog. I'm not exactly. That must be another conversation. Actually, no. Markets. No. The stock market exploded yesterday. The crypto market actually had a setback yesterday. Minor, little. It all was coming back again. It's ridiculous. Yesterday, what happened was an opportunity for those of you that are investing. That's what happened yesterday. There was a dip, and you could have taken advantage of it. Not those of us like myself, unless it's Bitcoin, which I did. But anything else for alts, like I'm not buying any alts now because I already bought the lowest of the lows in the alts. So I'm kind of done already with alts. The only thing I'm buying now is Bitcoin and maybe some Ethereum sometimes. But Bitcoin's the one because you just dream of having one whole Bitcoin, one complete one of these babies. I wish I can get one complete one of these, So we have 235 people on the chat board. Being honest now, don't lie. How many of you own a Bitcoin? How many of you have been able to buy or collect over the years a Bitcoin? How many of you own one complete Bitcoin? Think about it. There are like almost 9 billion people in the world, and there's only 21 million Bitcoins to be mined. So Most people will never own a Bitcoin. It's crazy. Wow, and a fairy says, Big O, Finns have no excuses to win the division, Paul in Connecticut. Yes, I agree. Right now, one Bitcoin is worth $36,300, sir. If you wanted to go buy a complete Bitcoin right now, you would have to pay $36,300 and something. Something like that. It's tough, man. It's tough. So it all depends. Now, Troy, if you bought some when it was at 16 and some at 20 and 25 and you're buying it now at 36, then it's not going to cost you $36,000 because you bought some of it at a lower price. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to buy it. By the time you turn it all, it'll be a lower price than where you're initially buying it from. But yeah, it all depends. Like if you had to buy it right now, you would have to pay $36,300 and something is what I read right now for a complete Bitcoin. That's anybody that if you end up to the point where you own a Bitcoin, you have no idea how far ahead you are of the rest of the world. Okay. And now that these institutions are about to get into it, boy, there ain't going to be any Bitcoin left for anybody, for average people. Average people will never own a Bitcoin. Ever. It'll be something that they will dream about. And most of you don't dream about it now because you don't understand it, don't care about it, don't really believe in it. But eventually you will understand it, you will believe in it, and you will have tons of regrets that you had a chance and you didn't get it. So. All right. All right, we thank Joe Shad. As always, we thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that knows how to get it done. Tomorrow, Wednesday, no, today is Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, we will be at Hialeah Park. By the way, we'll be at Hialeah Park next Tuesday is probably the date. We're not going to be there Thursday because it'll be Thanksgiving. And we will be on Friday, next Black Friday. Sean and I will do the pre- and post-game show for the Dolphins and the Jets. So we will cover you for that. We're not going to be anywhere specifically. We will be in studio for that one. But tomorrow, we will be at Hialeah Park, starting off at 3 o'clock. Walk-ons this Sunday. 11 a.m. starts the pregame show. 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll have all kinds of prizes, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So please make sure you visit us there at Walk-Ons in Kendall. We shall see you all. We thank Sean Stanley. We thank everybody that called in. Everybody that checked in, sent in a super chat. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at any time. Cash Big O Show. And of course, the thing that makes me happier than anything is a Bitcoin donation. You make a Bitcoin donation, you and I are friends for life. That's for damn sure. Appreciate all of you out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time. Same place. Same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.